Today we're going to be taking a look at Project Spartan, the Spartan web browser that will be the default browser in Microsoft Windows 10 when it ships in the summer timeframe. You can access the browser down here. It's the blue icon. We can go ahead and click on it and bring it up. I'm going to start with a new tab page so you can see the controls without so much clutter from a page. Now, before I go into this too much, I just want to explain that this is alpha software. You actually have to have technical preview build 10,049 to be able to access the Spartan browser. And when you ride the bleeding edge, there will be blood. Sometimes the browser crashes and not everything is implemented in it. Some things run a little slow and eat CPU, but this is alpha software, and it gives you an idea of what the intent is from Microsoft for what it sees in browser development. So, given that caveat, let's take a look at what we have here. At the very top is where your tabs show up, and underneath that to the left we see the basic browser controls. There's an Omni box to type in your URLs and to do searches with. Then over here we have some interesting controls that I'll go over, but let's take a look at a page so some of this will flesh out for us. Alright, I've pulled up a random article off of the default page, which is set to MSN, and if we go over here, we see this new icon that looks like a book. It's Reading View for people who are users of the Safari browser. You'll know what the Reading View is. For the rest of you, it takes a page that's been rendered with all the ads and other things that are in it and converts the page into a much more readable format. Let's go ahead and click on that, and as you can see, the page is a lot cleaner now. It's got a nice font, just the basic photo that was there. And then as you scroll down, it's just a lot easier to read than going through a normal web page with all the distractions of ads and menus on the side and that sort of thing. It's a pretty nice feature, and I'm looking forward to using that more often when it comes out. Alright, you can turn that off with a click. Not all pages are supported in the reading view mode. If the page is supported, you will see the black and white outlines that we see here. If the page is not supported by reading view, it will be shaded out so that you won't be able to access it. Here's the basic add to your favorites. Over here is how you can control your favorites, the addition of a reading list, and downloads. We can go ahead and click on that. And you can see I have some things that I've added to favorites as an example. You can also add articles and pages that you like to the reading list so that you can come back and read them later and not clutter up your favorites so much. Here's where the history would be. Right now, history is not supported, so that will be a coming feature. And here's where your downloads would be. And as we can see here, that's not supported at the moment. You can download files, but you can't access them from Spartan. You have to go into the downloads folder manually and retrieve them from there. But we can see what they're probably going to do with that. Okay, this other control up here is called the web note, and if we click on it, it allows us to do various markups on the page. For example, this is a drawing tool right here, and we can come down and start drawing on the page. As you can see, I'm a real artist. This next tool is a highlighter tool. You can come down and highlight anything that you want to, any particular section of text. This allows you to clear all that out. I'm going to leave what I have on there right now. This allows you to come down here and put notes onto the page. And you can come in and type whatever you want. And then you've got your note where you placed it. And you can just click on this to close it. And then finally, the other thing you can do is you can easily snip pictures and parts of the page. You just come down here and select, and it's automatically saved that in a default file. We can come back here and do it again. We can right click and save the picture. If you want to save it somewhere else, you can see where it ended up by default. You can give it whatever name you want to. So, great. Well, I told you this was bleeding edge, and we just saw an error when I tried to save a snippet file to another file that had the same name. But like I said, it's alpha, and this stuff is to be expected. So that's pretty much the WebNote tools. At this point, you could save this to a file, but I can already tell you right now that that fails. And you can share this, which is probably the way it'll be the most useful in being able to do markup on pages and send them to people you're collaborating with or to friends. But if we go ahead and try to do share, it will tell us that it's unable to do that at this time. So let's go ahead and exit out of here. And then this little happy face is to give feedback to Microsoft, whatever you may be feeling. And then we can come over here, and this is where the settings are. And it pops out new information, zoom, sharing if you want to share pages, and then the settings that you can set in the browser. And here you get an idea of some of the settings that are there. You can put a favorites bar in if you want to. You can change things about reading view as far as the style that it has. It has different styles. You can start up with previous tabs or your default one. Privacy stuff is here. Pop-up blockers on. Do not track request. This was an interesting one where it predicts what next page you will go to, and it'll try to pre-download it to have it ready for you. We'll see how well that works. And smart screen filter and the other stuff. But this pretty much gives you a general idea of what's coming in Spartan. It's definitely not fully baked yet, but it's getting there, and I'm interested to see what it'll look like when it's finally done.